now we move to our alchemical ritual from Brigid of the Rainbow Planets, Adventures of the Alchemical Twins. Our first ritual deals with the influence of the planet Mars. You needn't actually think it's a planet, you can think of it as a spiritual realm, and it's called the Sphere of Light. And the aphorism is, to control the elements, you must control yourself. We find ourselves in a beautiful temple of alchemy, with the ever-living flame symbolically represented. That flame which is in all that is, and so links all that is. The priest alchemist in long flowing robes addresses twin apprentices. For your quest to learn courage through self-control, you need to receive the oracle of the goddess Brunhilde, daughter of Frigg and Odin, leader of the Valkyrie, who control the elements of fire and earth. We are to receive an oracle. A woman is seated, entirely robed with a wonderful orange veil that's flowing all around her, slightly moving in the wind, her veil. We cannot see her face, because she's allowing the goddess to speak through her, though still keeping some consciousness if she can. The priestess alchemist steps forward in deep flowing red robes embroidered in gold, wearing a wonderful high golden headdress. Noble goddess Brunhilde, you restored goodness to the earth by winning the golden ring of power with your spear of light. You restored the ring to its true home with the innocent elementals of the water, the Rhine maidens. Help us to have courage. Now we are to hear, possibly, after this invocation, no less than the goddess herself. Without conflict there is no progress. Each of you in bodily form, whether human, animal, or plant, have your divine essence derived from the mother of all. You have consented to be born in this forum of learning which you call a planet. In verity, what you know of your earth is only a shadow projection of its myriad forms spread forth from the constellations of light, Aries and Leo. Treat this existence with its cycles of births and deaths as a mystery drama in which you act while your true self is ever the same in heaven. Each day you are given choice, and every choice has a consequence, good or bad. Even a bad choice may bring greater reward than a just one if it leads to wisdom born from harsh experience. Whatever happens, never forget to laugh. The ancient hall of the valiant, Valhalla, fell not only from greed and cruelty, but also from a creeping death of dogma. Humans progress through becoming lively, not deathly. You may choose to protect victims from the spear of light, as I did, or you may lie asleep, as I did, in mystic trance on a rock, protected by magic fire. Whichever you travel on in life's journey, I call you to live richly by achieving physical and moral courage. So shall you awaken as I did from my rock, to restore spiritual gold to all. The priestess expresses his thanks. We give thanks to the goddess Brunhild for her oracle, which we will meditate on before we sleep, and so attain its true reality. She now addresses the twins. Aidan and Elaine, you have successfully passed the initiation of the 12 sacred constellations of the zodiac, and so obtained those degrees of the spiral of alchemy. The spiritual light of the stars give us divine inspiration. But it is necessary to apply what we have discovered to the 8 sacred planets, which receive their light and shadow from the stars. For we in physical embodiment have planetary bodies which we need to control. Planetary elements may be transmuted into spiritual gold. Thus your evolution is furthered through your own will and perseverance. For the great gift of the descent into matter is to discover your own individual souls. Priest Alton speaks. The power of one planet is brought into harmony through polarity with another, as it is with humans, and each planet has its point of contact through our psychic centers. You are required to unite the energy of the planet Mars with the peace of the planet Venus. Elaine, you have the nature of Venus centered in brow and heart. You are asked to give your report on your experience in trance of a Martian initiation. Aidan and ourselves will accompany your journey. We sit in contemplation with our eyes shut. We leave our temple of alchemy through its crystal gateway. At the end of a long avenue stands the octagonal temple of the sacred planets. Enter by the south portal. In the center is a golden orb sending forth shining rainbow-colored lights. We see that there are 8 walls, each one containing a portal, above which is the sign of a planet. We approach the portal of Mars in the northeast. Above the lintel is a red circle sending forth an arrow. Above this is a red heart with the arrow piercing it. You need courage to draw aside the blood-colored curtains and enter. Do this yourself. Visualize this temple. Priest Alchemist, let us slowly withdraw from trance. Elaine, when you are fully recovered, give us your report. Elaine speaks. I expected to find a fiery rocky landscape with dangerous precipices. Instead, I was reassured to find myself in a college campus. It is warm and sunny, and the students, obviously fresh from studies, are lounging in the grass, drinking minerals and using their mobile phones. I am drawn to a group who look more serious. They have their heads together and sometimes cautiously look around. They seem to know me, for they make room on the grass for me. They are in the shade. At first I hardly heed what they are saying, for I am looking forward to joining listeners to a small concert in an open pavilion. I love classical music. At first their talk suits me, for they speak of a famous conductor who will be conducting the small college symphony orchestra. What a privilege to hear how he conducts Wagner. But then a feeling of cold terror fills me. I'm shaking. The students are castigating him. For some reason they are blaming him for his country and where he comes from, his history, I don't know. What is going to happen? It seems to be a tyrannous regime. They planted a bomb that will not only kill him, but also those in the orchestra and audience. They talk with such fanatical ardor that I know this is true. I'm shaking in every limb. My mind and emotions are in such a state that I cannot control my horror and fear. I've no use for dictators and their followers, but none for cold-blooded murder either, and people have nothing to do with it. But what I feel deep shame about is my fear for my own safety. One of the young people notices that I'm shaking, very kindly, as if talking to a child. He says I'll be perfectly safe. I need not be implicated at all. Another of them suggests a retreat to a Buddhist monastery for the weekend. I'd given all they needed with information about the concert and where the people were staying, what was happening, though not knowing what they intended. The concert was about to begin. I should pack and leave at once. From now on, I felt in a nightmare. I had a wretched impulse to flee. Or should I go at once to the authorities? That would mean my death as an informer. I had no doubt of that. but I did know where they had planted the bomb. I would risk my life, but I had to remove it. I had not the slightest knowledge as how to detonate it, not part of my ladylike school curriculum. Time seemed to slow down, and my limbs felt them moving through water as I reached the hiding place of the bomb, concealed cruelly behind red roses on the platform. I wrapped it in my cape and rushed away. No one took notice of me. They were so busy preparing for the arrival of the conductor. I ran and ran until I reached the bank of our shining river. I began to hear ticking. I'm not much good at sport. Never was a heavy ball thrown so far by a young girl with shaking arms. The bomb hit the water, and for a moment there was silence. I only heard the cawing of rooks. Then there was a mighty explosion, and water shot into the air in a golden ring, a cascade of fireworks. Amidst the fire, I heard women's voices singing in music, not of this earth. I had triumphed. The waters had engulfed this flame. Then all became black, dark, and I was back here. The priest alchemist speaks gravely. Let us imagine the goddess Brunhilde restoring the ring of power to the element of water, not to be dispersed or destroyed, but to sparkle like gold on waves, and through the water into the atmosphere, up round the whole world, bringing the light of life and Mars to the waters of Venus. So our candidate has done. The company now decide that, combined with her year's work, Elaine has returned the ring of power to the River Isis at Oxford. Elaine has passed the initiation of Mars. She was given a medallion, gold-coloured. Rays of strength and peace are sent forth by all. Let us do this. We don't want to destroy courage and nobility and all these fine things that are given to us, but we would also like peace. And this comes through harmony. Let us sometimes be active, sometimes gentle. But are we not sometimes awake and sometimes asleep? And does not sleep and dreams belong to Venus? Yet we still wish to wake up and be active, yin and yang. Mind and heart are one. Let us now visualize what we can do to unite power and peace. The way of some is through activity, and the greatest activity is to create your own soul on this earth and yet bring it safely to heaven. But other people prefer to seek illumination and cut off all activity of earthly powers. There is the path of the monk and the priest. But this is not, I think, the way of Mars and Venus. No, but those who combine Mars and Venus live two lives, one at night and one at day. But at night they are out of their bodies. Learn to live, if you can, outside as well as within your body, because then you're going to last longer.